A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What's up, family? Welcome in to another edition of the PHIX AM and the PM crossover here, right here, A2DRadio.com. Got a ton to talk to you about tonight, but every Wednesday we're brought to you by Art Doc. Got to make them yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Frank Vesby, Greg Mwagovic, Ralph Delavecchio. We're all in the house tonight for you, fam. A ton to talk about. Dumbest thing of the week later on in the show. You know, we got a lot to go over. Later on. We'll save it. We call that a tease. We'll save what we got to talk about till later on. Stay tuned with us. Flyers versus Islanders game 2. We'll give you a little recap and our reactions to it. And listen, a must winner, and no team's had a better response in maybe sports this year than it comes to the Philadelphia Flyers after a loss. And they proved it again tonight. Now, you don't want to give up a 3-0 lead. That's not ideal. All right, not ideal. But to go back to the dressing room, as they like to say in hockey, with a dub is always a good time. So we'll talk Flyers, Islanders, game 2, getting a little game 3 as well. Sixers is a heavy topic tonight because a lot of changes. It's Change City, and we're hoping and expecting a bunch of changes according to Elton Brand outside of 2 guys that we'll talk about in a minute. So we'll go over possible trade options and free agents for the Sixers. Not much you can do. So, you know, we got to hope. We'll get into that, and it ties into our main topic. It's the Sixers all-season plans. Into our poll brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Tell them the boys from A2D Radio sent you 20% off our poll. Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons will be traded this all-season. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live, fam. And everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there as well. Like, subscribe, follow. You know the deal. Philly's about to blow another lead. Good times here in Philadelphia. Good times. Flyers saving grace again. Well, we got to talk about hopefully better times for the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll discuss the head coaching search because there's a lot of names on the table. It's a big Thanksgiving Day table right now with names. All right, and it's going to be delicious to eat them and dive in and decide who our guy's going to be, and we'll give you our guy throughout the show as well. So to our poll, Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons will be traded this all season. Agree or disagree? Disagree, right? Like I told the guy before we came on, I'm not happy about it. Like I think there's a 0% chance that it happens and a 0% chance that I would do it. I think it's idiotic because all you're doing is getting bent over by somebody else, right? We're not in the business to trade hopefully superstars, which we're hoping for, to get bent over and it'd be like a Charles Barkley type thing. You know what I mean? I don't want Jeff Hornacek. I don't want Tim Perry. Right? I don't want these guys, boys. Right? Like, so I disagree about giving up on them. I thought the whole point was we needed a new voice, right? We need a new voice for these guys. So we're going to turn a new voice into, we got what we wanted there, right? And now we're going to turn the new voice into, let's get rid of one of our 2 potential air quote superstars or hope to be superstars, right? Come on, that doesn't make any sense. Then why even, you know what I mean? Then just keep everything status quo then. The whole reason was it was another voice. Get another voice work. So I just disagree. I think anybody that agrees with it is ridiculous right now. You want to talk to me this time next year? If guys aren't on the court or they don't play well together, then we can revisit the conversation. But as of right now, I'm not in the business of doing this. I think you got to give it time. They've proven they can play together. Okay, they've proven it. So what do you got to do? You got to surround them with shooters. Get them shooters. Their successes came when you spread the floor a little bit. You can't listen. You might as well have us 5 out there shooting. Okay, I mean that's what it was. So if you want to call that spacing, then I would stay away from the NBA. You know what I mean? Talk some high school hoops. You know what I mean? Talk a little AAU possibly on the lower end of teams, okay? But don't talk NBA then. And really, truthfully, with all due respect, if you think you should trade one of these two right now, okay, and you think you're actually going to get a deal worth it, which you're not, okay, I think you need to check your pulse, all right? Because, first off, I didn't wait all this year to start over. And Rye threw some trade offers at me earlier for Joe or Ben, and you get bent over on all of them. You know what I mean? And we're not in it for this. We didn't sign up for this. I didn't wait. These guys didn't wait. Ralphie don't care, but the rest of us didn't wait. We didn't sit around like winless for Wiggins. Thank God we didn't get Wiggins, but winless for Wiggins for us to get these guys and these cornerstone pieces to then give up and trade them right now at this point of their careers. One's going to be 24, one's 26, right? They're still in prime ages, and one's still growing. And I'm a big Joe guy, so don't even talk about Joe. Ben, I've always been back and forth. I'll be critical when necessary. Same with Joe. But Joe's always been my kid. Ben, no shot I'm giving up on Ben. I think it's a ridiculous conversation to give up on Ben. People talk about all the thing he can't do well. Well, first team, he should be a first-team all-defensive guy if he's not, okay? Second off, his free throws got better. Let's talk about the things he does great. His vision's great when you actually surround him with shooters, right? So we want to talk about the one negative, which is a negative. I get it. All right? But let's talk about the positives, too, and what he's gotten better at. Right? And be fair there. Now, this next year, I need you coming in and shooting a little bit. You don't need to be Steph. You know what I mean? I just need you like 15, 20, like I've been saying forever. All right? But at the end of the day, it's idiotic to think about trading either one of these two. Let's get a new coach in here. Let's re-examine these two. Let's see if a new voice, maybe some play calls, some good designs, right? And some freaking spacing can prove to everybody again that these two can goddamn play together. Because if you don't think so, you need to get your head checked because they've proven they can play together. They've proven it. But then you want to go clog it up like it's 80s ball. So I disagree. Family, you let us know. Boys, you let us know as well. We'll be reading them all off. All right? And let's go at it tonight because I expect some heat, especially from LeBron down low there tonight because he hadn't said a word before show, and I don't like that vibe. You know how I feel about that vibe? That vibe's going to get attacked tonight. That's when I come in, we're looking to expose. So, I mean, tread lightly down there, babe. All right? Tread lightly. Not tonight. I've been getting listen, I've been in prison, I feel like, on IG tonight. You know what I mean? Like dropping soap. It's been ugly. So I ain't, you know what I mean?
Phillies won.
Let's go. Let's go. Congratulations, Joe. Well deserved. Hey. Getting some out somehow. Getting some out somehow. I don't know how they don't tie that game up. That's absurd. That's absurd.
Ralphie, go ahead, brother.
No,
What are you, some kind of crumb? When we send it down to you, go.
I'll let you guys voice your whole, this.
Your whole what?
When do you ever allow us to do that? No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll let you guys go first. I'll go last. You guys go ahead. Go ahead, Rye. Go first, because I know your whole opinion on moving Ben and Joel. So
do you? Please
let the family know out there.
Enlighten me, since you know my opinion. Since you're afraid to share yours, whatever you think.
Go right ahead. Go. You guys go first. You guys got this.
So, I completely agree with Tom. I completely disagree with the poll. And while we've been frustrated, angered, listen, a couple weeks ago, I feel like we were starting the trade machine literally on the show, talking about, what Ben couldn't do, what Joe couldn't do, our frustrations. It's been a very frustrating year. It has. The poll question was going to be, was almost going to be, this entire Sixers season has been almost as disappointing as the friggin' Eagles' dream team season. Like, it's up there. It was so much could have gone wrong, and it did go wrong this season, or season part 2, because it felt like it's been 100. It feels like this entire season has been like 10 years. But to Tom's point, like we've been talking about, the decision that this organization made very quickly after they got swept by the Celtics told us what we've already known. And that was Brett Brown was the problem. Was he the only problem? No. The lack of health was an issue. I would say some of the moves that Elton Brand and this organization made was an issue. And I'm not even only talking about this past offseason. I'm looking at you, and we could look at this later, kind of the decisions this organization has made the last 3 years. It's kind of
what up,
led us
Josh
to
from
this point.
Australia?
Hello, Josh.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi,
That's a whole
oi,
other
oi.
conversation. I mean, that's an Elton Brand should be fired and out the door too. I mean, Elton Brand constructed a roster that had zero spacing. Elton Brand put this roster together. At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. Brett coached it, but the groceries were bought. All right, and he cooked the groceries that were bought, and he didn't get the job done. So the time has come where it's time for Brett to go. But Elton's on the hot seat. The fact that he wasn't fired is sort of a miracle to me, and now he's on the hot seat to try to get it right. So that's going to be a conversation for a little bit. But I put a ton of blame on Elton Brand. There's a ton to go around. This ain't just on Brett Brown. There's plenty to go around. We already know Brett's issues. All right, but Elton's proved to fail in a big spot. In a big spot. Okay, when one guy's still playing, and the other guy couldn't make a shot in the playoffs, right? And you can't lure that guy to stay, or prior to the trade, make sure you can get something done. You should be fired immediately.
Yep, I agree. But and then for everybody saying, trade Ben Simmons, trade Joel Embiid, and listen, like Tom talked about earlier, we invite anybody to bring in and type in the chat, their trade scenarios for any player, especially Ben and Joel, because maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to convince us. I don't think that trade exists, to be honest, because that's not exactly where this organization is or should be. It's all about, again, bringing in a coach that can get the most or anything close to the most out of his players. Because, like we talked about, we can blame a lot on Elton Brand, but this has been kind of a theme with Brett Brown the last handful of years, and that was, you look around the league, okay? You look at Toronto, for example. You look at the Celtics. Hell, you look at the friggin' Pacers, because you've seen them absolutely embarrass us, not only this past year, but in years in the past. And you can look at all three of those rosters, and I can go on and on and on. I can start. I'm just talking about three select teams in the Eastern Conference. I can go to the Western Conference. I can go all over the place. There's a lot of teams that fit this role. All three of those teams are efficient. They're not nearly as talented as the Philadelphia 76ers, but they were able to beat us in the playoffs, beat us in the regular season, beat us on the road, hell, even beat us at home at times, because they were efficient. The one thing you can say about the 76ers, and this goes back to coaching, is they were towards the top of the league as far as lack of efficiency, especially in the fourth quarter. That's why you saw them blowing leads. That's why you saw the countless turnovers coming out of the half or coming out of a
for 7 years.
Yes.
For 7 years since they've been good, I feel like no league's ever been safe with them.
Exactly.
Since they've been good. I mean, that's been that. Listen, but that's part of it. But there is a lack of talent. There's a lack of guard play here, big time. And in today's 2020 NBA, a lack of guard play equals no bueno. I mean, if you got nobody who can score the basketball from the guard position, like when everybody in the league's dropping 20, and then you wonder, like, if Trey Burke goes to another team, he starts dropping 20. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Trey can always score. It just stinks that won't play me or you on defense. But you understand the point. Like, is it the coach? Is it just the coach? Like, does a new coach with the same roster get better results? Yeah, he probably will. If Ben's healthy and Joe are healthy, he probably will get better results. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what I mean? I'm right on board with that. But can they win in the playoffs as constructed? No. Because
as we've seen just in a small sample size in 4 games, like everyone, and there's people out there, people in our comment sections last week, people that were criticizing Joel Embiid during this. Listen, did he come out in the second half like he did in the first half? Were there spots where he wasn't perfect? So I'm not trying to say Joel Embiid was perfect, but with this roster, the way it was constructed and the way we saw it kind of evolve over the season, we needed guys like Joel and guys like Ben to have career caliber nights every single night. There was no let up. There wasn't a guy like Al Horford or Josh Richardson, even though we saw little bits and pieces while Josh was actually healthy and doing his job this season, where we can rely on guys like that. But nobody key off the bench. We had freaking Furkan Korkmaz, Matisse Thybulle, and listen, they have roles. Like Korkmaz is good for an occasional three. Thybulle, obviously, for a defensive turnover. Like, they have skill, but nothing compared to what you see with these other teams. And like we've always talked about, this roster just didn't fit. They didn't fit. So you look up and down the roster.
Shaw says it right here. Alan Brand constructed this roster looking like the 91 New York Knicks. All these damn stiffs and non-defensive ass guards outside of Ben and Thibault. And he's right. Like, we thought Josh Richardson was better defensively. He got flat out exposed by the likes of Tatum and Kemba, right? Exposed. So it's like, oh, maybe you can't play any defense. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not as much of a dog as we thought you were. So, I mean, it's a big time issue and problem that needs to be addressed this offseason, even with Ben on the court, is I need to go get two guards who can score the basketball. Right? I need two guards who can take guys off the dribble, two guards who can create their own shot, and even bigger than that, two guards who can absolutely hit the three ball in some fashion. Right? I need you to be able to stroke the three. I need spacing. Like, you go back to the year Ben went, 18-0, guys, on his little run, even without Joe, right? Yeah. There was this Bellinellis of the world and guys who could flat out stroke around them. Right now, we got exposed having no defense, with that team. But that's the type of team you need to put together, though, because you do have defense guys like Thibault now and different guys who come in and play good defense. So now you have to be able to spread it, right?
Exactly. And I'll just say this real quick, before we get to the other three. Tom, you're spot on, because you look at that roster. And we talked about it last week. A lot of people said that they feel like that was the best roster we've had with the two guys in that little run and going into the playoffs. To your point with shooting and fit around Ben Simmons, you had Bellinelli, you had Redick, you had Ilyasova, and you had Robert Covington. 4 players that aren't perfect, but what do they all do well? They shoot. They shoot.
And they're willing shooters.
Yeah, like Shake Milton. That's
willing shooters.
Yeah, facts, Greg. Facts. And Shake Milton, like, that's cute. Like, I liked you at SMU. That's cool. It's like a cool story, bro. But, like, you're not good enough. You're not good enough at the NBA level to create your own shot. You're good. You're good at catch, shoot three, maybe a little bit better than you are creating it, and it's still not good enough, right? And then, like, the bias that you thought, like, coming in this year, like, okay, well, the bias will make up for the lack of production from three, right? Didn't happen. So then, who the heck played guard for you this year outside of Ben? And we know Ben's not shooting the three ball. I don't need him to, essentially, if I have guards who can shoot it or at least create their own shot. It is a joke how this roster was put together. It's a joke that I bought into this damn roster because I thought they'd be that good defensively. Well, guess what? When Ben's out, you're not going to be good defensively. And it's a flat-out joke that there wasn't shooters mixed in here. It's a flat-out joke that you just got rid of all your shooters and tried to win inside out, but without the out. Without the out. You went inside, but you had no out. Zero out. My boy Rome in the house. What up, Rome? Rome saying, you're right. You need two guards that can score the rock if you're going to keep Draymond Simmons.
Who's at the racetrack?
Really Talladega.
That's outside my house. I live right across the cornfield, a long stretch of land, so it's good for drag racing, apparently.
Huh?
You got children in the corn out there?
We got a military base doing tests, so I get waken up by explosions.
Oh, that's what the airplane sound was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I know what it's like to live in Lebanon. Wonderful.
Oh, Frank. Okay. I don't. Okay. Okay.
House. Give me Ty Lue and some shooters. If Joe's back next year, Ellen has to find a way to get Horford out of there. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot on. Listen. If you build it, they will come. Well, he built it, and this is what he got. You know what I mean?
This is the bed he made.
Like, unlike Ralphie's bed that he doesn't make, this is the bed he made. And now he's got to figure out a way out of it. And the only way out of it in the draft, obviously, you have to go guard, and you have, it's late, but you have to hope you get a guard who can score the basketball a little bit there. And then you got to hope Thibault can get some kind of offensive game, like just something, right? You got to pray for that. Now we're praying for another guy to get an offensive game. It's crazy. And then I got to somehow dress the guard play. But go ahead, Greg, to the poll.
No, I was just going to say at 21, you're right. You got to find somebody that at least does one thing right. Like last year, right? We took Thibault because, hey, at least the guy can D up. You know what I mean? Like we were all torn on him, but at least he brought something to the team that we needed. So this year, same thing at 21. Let's go out and get a shooter. Let's go out and get a kid that flat out shoots the ball. I don't care who he is, what he is, if he's European, college, whatever, right? Just give me a guy that can shoot the ball. To the poll, I disagree. I agree with both of you guys. The first move is you change the voice. You change the guy calling the shots. Ultimately, we would like more people changed that are calling the shots. but at least we'll start with the head coach. You guys two that talked that already hit on everything. You don't give up on these guys yet. Now, if you're sitting here next year and you're seeing the same results, then yeah, we could then discuss shaking it up. Especially if we're dealing with
shook up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His best role is your 7th, 8th guy off the bench. Like, you look at our roster, we don't have that instant offense in a Lou Williams off the bench, right? We don't have that heart, that toughness, that grit of like a Marcus Smart coming off our bench. We just got a bunch of guys that think they're good, but they're not. And that got exposed in the playoffs when they had to put in more minutes because of the likes of Ben or Al, because Al was horrific, because Toby, wasn't very good, but at least he played. But so you had to surround these other guys with the likes of Alec Burks, who was fine, but he's not a starter. You know what I mean? Shake Milton's not a starter in this league. He can come in and provide instant offense off your bench, but he's off your bench.
No, absolutely. If that, if not down in Delaware for the G Leaguers, get some work in. Go down with Zaire.
Yeah, right.
Rank to the poll. Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons will be traded this offseason. Agree or disagree?
I agree to everybody else disagreeing. So I disagree with the poll. I mean, it's what this process was built around. You got to keep both Simmons and Embiid. I don't know what to do with the rest of the roster. It all depends on what we're going to do approaching coach-wise. It depends if we're going to go with the more defensive-minded coach or an offensive-minded coach. It really depends on what's going to be happening there. And you also take a look at the GM situation. Is Elton Brand still going to be the GM? And some say he's still going to be the GM. Some say he's going to be in a different role. So it's going to depend on what this new reorganization is going to be in terms of coaching and GM. So how we're going to approach free agency and trading and the draft, it's going to be approached on what we're going to get. Another thing, too, we got to keep both Joel and Ben. We got to get rid of all these bad contracts. You got to try to figure out to get rid of Tobias. He's owed $34.3 million this season. Al Horford, $27.5 million. And Josh Richardson, he's got $10.8 million, but I think there's a way you can try to clear him out as well. I mean, going over, possible trades, there is ways to clear up some space and make the team a lot better. And I came up with a little handy-dandy list of Sixers that I want to stay or go, and it's not really looking good. Like half our roster is going to be going, in my opinion. So I disagree. You got to build around Joel and Ben. You just got to figure out what this new front office, new coach is going to be doing.
Yeah, well, you got to build around them, and we've been trying to build around them for a while, and continue.
Yeah, that's why we did the process in the first place.
Continue to make mistakes trying to build around them as well, and some of it you put on the coach, and the others you put on the general managers that have been here. But every time I watch Markelle Fultz play, I get hurt. I just continue to get hurt because it's like 15 points out of a guard for us seems like 30. So you're like, oh my God, he scored 15. You know what I mean? Which Jonathan Simmons scored tonight. So you're always gonna have that, and just the bad mistakes like Dario Rocco, Landry. They all feel like they're coming back and haunting us a little bit on a team that was probably better. Now we'll see if Elton can shake it up and right his wrongs here. I don't know if he can. There's a lot. Like, who wants Horford's money? Like, who would want that? Dumbest organization.
Right. Exactly.
So who wants that? Like Josh Richardson, I could probably move. Tobias ain't nobody in hell buying into that.
Yeah. Nobody's going to go to Tobias.
So you can mid-level guys, mid-level exceptions. You got to try to hit on mid-level exceptions. Listen, it's the bed you made, honey. You're in a lot of trouble. So you better hope you get 82 as air quote out of Joe and Ben, because if not, you're in a heck of a lot of trouble. All right, because this roster is not built sturdy, deep, etc. So it's going to be interesting. So let's go to the crumb. On the poll.
Man, oh man. Well, it's a tough one for 76ers fans out there because your loved Brett Brown, gets fired. It sucks. He deserves another year. But it is what it is. To the poll, I disagree. I disagree to the poll as well. So it's a clean sweep here for
Shocker.
us. I think like what Greg, I'm going to bounce off of what Greg was saying too earlier when he was saying his statement is that you have to see how it is with Joel and Ben with the new voice, with the new coach, correct? So if that still is the problem with the new coach in there after the year, then yeah, maybe it's time to go another way. But in this offseason, I mean, like you guys said, with Tobias and Big Al and those contracts, I think those are the two guys that I look to trade. Okay, because those are two horrific contracts that are horrendous at this point in the NBA. But yet again, what team in the NBA is going to take on those contracts?
Would you, Ralph,
Say anyway, Tori.
as an outsider per se, even though you live?
Listen, for Al Horford, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You would take on a Max Tobias?
No. I was going to get to that.
Well, you wait.
Al Horford, no, and Tobias, no as well. So it's like you're kind of stuck with them until at least they have 1 year left on their deal, and you can just ship them away to a team that's really bad that year that just can use that contract for tanking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be tough. But I disagree to the poll. I think 1 more year with these guys with the new coach, and if it doesn't go well and it's continue to be on what it's looking like now with the new coach, then it's maybe time to pick up the phone and start listening to some offers.
Yep. I mean, maybe.
But also when the NBA draft comes, and I know there's not a lot of good prospects there. It's only yet again the NBA draft is really top heavy. There's only 4 to 5 great guys in this draft. That are can step in and change your franchise around for this year and coming into the future. But I mean, if there's a package out there that you can't say no to, right? If some team comes to you with a Paul George situation and saying, "Look, man, we'll give you 4 firsts for Ben, or even 3 firsts for Ben," it will be hard. It will be hard to shut that down.
I'm not watching him go to the playoffs every year and me get first.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, Paul George got 5 first rounds, 5 first-round picks.
Still,
5 of them.
I don't.
Is he better than Ben Simmons, though? Is Paul George better than Ben Simmons?
Ralph, at the end of the day, you have to look at OKC or the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Absolutely, I understand that. I
don't think you do, because the Oklahoma City Thunder are not in the same position as the Philadelphia 76ers. You looked at a team that tried to win the same way for about 7 years, and then they went backwards. If we trade one of our two for picks, we are saying we are going backwards. It stops our clock.
Yep.
And we cannot.
Yeah, so if a team comes to you with a Paul George situation, with two young studs and 5 first-round picks for Ben Simmons, you're turning that down in a heartbeat?
I want players because, again, what has the Sixers told me to where I can trust them with these picks?
But then you can use that draft asset to go get another guy, to go get another player.
Why don't I just use our asset to get a guy? Why do I need to add a step?
That valuable if you get it from a Cleveland.
What? I don't want picks, Ralph. I don't want freaking Garland. I don't want Sexton.
Listen. Just I agree with Rome here. Horford's the problem. It's about getting rid of Al Horford.
No team is taking on that contract.
Yes, they are. There's always
what team? Maybe a team that won't reach the playoffs in the next 3 years.
Well,
but yet again, you're going to have to take. If you're trading a bad contract, you're getting a bad contract back. That's how it works in the NBA.
We see bad contracts get moved in this league all the time.
Yeah, for another bad contract.
Okay, so I'll just say it right now, and I've said it a million times. Sacramento will do a deal with you. They will, because at the end of the day, we showed the world.
You never. I don't know about that.
We showed the world
what stepped down, dude.
What?
They're getting a new GM. They're getting a new GM. You don't know what his mind's going to be like when the offseason starts.
Ralph,
you don't know that.
Ralph,
you might want to keep Buddy Hield.
Can you freaking
listen to Jay's advice?
What?
Man, I'm just here to have some fun.
At the end of the day, we showed the world this past year what an Al Horford looks like at the 4 position with a bad coach. He can still play center, okay? There are teams in this league that could use an Al Horford playing the 5. I'm not saying he's still the Al Horford that we wanted and we paid over $100 million for. But to say that it's impossible to move this contract and to say it's the worst contract in the history of the NBA.
It takes 2 to tango, though, brother. It takes 2 to tango. Takes 2 to tango.
Where do I disagree with that?
You're going to have a bad contract coming back. That's all I'm saying.
So if you tell me that I attach some assets that we have to Al Horford to get somebody that's trying to get out of a situation.
Man, a lot of hate tonight. I love it.
Where's the hate? Can you answer the damn question? At the end of the day, when you look at it, if I attach one of my assets to Al Horford, a team that's looking for change and trying to get out of a bad situation as well, like Buddy Hield trying to fight the freaking coach in the locker room, you're telling me that team's not going to tango, quote unquote?
We'll see.
Oh, that's your answer. We'll see now. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know what you're attaching either. That's the problem. We attaching Thibault somehow. I just don't know. I don't know what you got to attach. PIX, sure.
Yeah.
But
your picks. If you're going to be a playoff team, your picks are going to be from 20, 30, from late first rounders. So they really matter?
No.
I'm just telling you, Ralph. Al Horford will be moved. I have no doubt about it.
Okay.
Well, I think they're going to definitely try to move him, and I think the chances are high they can do something.
We got a first back for Fultz.
So I think they can do something. I just don't think it's going to be anything we're going to love or whatever. But if they can get some guard play back of some sort, even if it's a bad contract somewhere else, but the guy can shoot it a little bit and create his own shot, I'm a fan at this point. You know what I mean? So just for the spacing aspect, that's why it's the biggest issue to get rid of. Like Rome was saying, another guy said, Tobias is serviceable, but he just can't be your second best player, or you're in trouble. You're just in trouble. He can be your third. He can be your third best player. You're probably okay. Can't be your second.
Let me see here. I saw a trade earlier that I didn't make any sense. It was way back.
Rode through a guy in there for the draft, Kira Lewis Jr. I just watched a quick, scouting video. I would take him with 21.
Yeah,
quick guard out of Alabama.
I saw this. Deshaun, I appreciate you. Why would the Pelicans do that?
No.
Why would
I don't see that happening.
Why would the Pelicans do that? And Ingram's a free agent.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drive them to the friggin' airport, but they're not doing that.
It's not gonna. No.
No shot. They won't even do it in 2K. Matt Spills, love you, brother. Mike Parker, Horford, a second rounder, $50 million cash deferred for Hield. Okay, I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in but I just don't. I think it's hard, but I'm still in. If teams are, if teams are going to do it, obviously I'm in for anybody. You can throw me a ton of names out. I'm in. So I'm not going to stop there. Joe Poker, we'll call him. Ben needs to stay. Absolutely. So does Joel. That's our poll question. Do you disagree that they're going to be moved? Or do you agree? So we all disagreed. Honestly, that was crazy. I didn't think Ralphie was going to disagree. We all
didn't think so either.
TTP, blockbuster, hypothetical trade. Wiggins, Clay, and the number 2 pick for Joe and Toby. Take it or leave it. I don't know if Wiggins has a big contract, so I put that together so that the money may work.
I think he does. I think it's over.
He's got 27 million, Wiggins.
Yeah.
I'll try.
I know Minnesota paid him about, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Clay's got 30. Let me just double check real quick. I got contracts up. Clay has 35.3 million. Wiggins has 29.5 million.
Oh, they're matching. They're matching up here.
Yeah,
Wow.
They are matching up, surprisingly.
And the 2? Oh, my God. I know the 2's not great in this draft, but still, that's tough. That's tough. I say no. I say no.
2 could be good.
I say no to this one.
2 could be good, though.
I say no, though. I say no.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I can't do it. I can't get rid of Joel.
If Clay wasn't coming off an injury,
yeah,
I might be more inclined to say, yeah.
Ben Simmons and Klay Thompson together.
Oh, my God.
And you get LaMelo Ball.
Wiggins at number 2 for Ben and Horford. Draft LaMelo.
Ben and Horford.
There you go. I love that.
Well, I was screwing around with the trade machine
Clay
earlier, and I did manage to. I did manage to get the number 2 pick without using Ben or Joel.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, so the trade that I did without using Ben or Joel, and it kind of worked in our favor, where we could get Andrew Wiggins and the 2 without trading. So my trade was Al Horford, Mike Scott, or Zaire Smith, our 2020 first and 2 of our second rounders, and a 2022 first for Wiggins and the number 2, and it worked.
Yeah, they'd probably swift kick you in the face for that one.
Exactly. I know it won't happen.
They're throwing the phone through the window.
I know. It wouldn't work, but
they're asking. They're like, you started off with Al, yeah, click.
Greg, you said you had one.
I did. I had one go through.
This will be good.
I don't like that. Is this a Joe?
It is Joe.
What do you guys do?
I don't have a Joe. Don't look at me. I don't have a Joe. I have a lot of Al and Josh.
I got some. I got 2 Joshes.
Go ahead, Greg.
So it's Joel and the 2022nd to Indiana for Sabonis, McDermott, and then because of the money, we'll take Miles Turner and a first.
It's the worst trade in NBA history.
And we would do that. Why?
I would just go with Sabonis and McDermott to space the floor.
So you think McDermott and Sabonis, that value is equivalent to Joe?
No, I don't think it is equivalent to Joe. I'm just saying it's a trade that worked. I like Sabonis, but it's, again, like Tom alluded to when he started the show, any trade, including those guys, you're going to get bent over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
that's almost like illegal. Like, I don't even know if the NBA would allow that. Yeah, like people are panicking. Like you've sent a panic through the friggin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you have to think about. There's a lot of things you need upgrades on, and so I think that's why you got to stay away from trading them too. I mean, if you start trading them too, you're blowing the whole thing up. You know what I mean? The whole thing's getting blown up, and I don't think any of us are ready for the whole thing getting blown up. I'm sure not. I'm ready for a lot of pieces around it to get blown up. But, I got to hope Elton can work some magic this offseason, get rid of some guys, move some things around, and be able to put together a roster around these kids for them to succeed at a high level. And 2, to get a coach to want to come here too, right? You know what I'm saying, boys?
Yep.
You got to get a coach to want to play, that want to come here.
Now, I said this the other day. Ralph and Frank know this. Tom, I told you this earlier, but I want to hear. This is a crazy one involving Al Horford, okay? And I want to see what the fan would say to it. I don't think it's as crazy as whatever the hell Greg just said. So hopefully it's a little bit of a step down from there. So tell me if you guys would do it and if you guys think the Pelicans would do this. You send Al Horford, Shake Milton, this year's first-round pick, next year's first-round pick, and this year's 2020 Atlanta round 2 from us to the Pelicans, and we get back Drew Holiday and Jahlil Okafor.
We literally get them back, too.
Welcome home.
Unintended.
Yep. Greg, you doing that?
Well, I'm doing anything that gets me rid of Horford.
Frank, no?
No.
That's a lot, though, because you're giving up. I mean, I get it. You have to give up stuff to get it in the back, right?
You're giving up, and that's the picks. Yeah, and
that's the picks. So you are giving up a lot in pick asset and pick value. But you're getting. I was always a Jahlil fan, but that's not the prize of the trade. The prize of the trade is true.
Yeah, and he's in there
the prize of the trade is true.
He's in there for
I do it. There's no question I do it.
I do it in a heartbeat. Where do I sign up?
There's no question.
Because
so
Drew Holiday, Go ahead, Greg. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying I redid the trade that I think you probably like it better this way. Took out Turner and McDermott and put Brogdon in. So it's Bonus and Brogdon and a first for Joel and a second.
I still don't love it.
No, I still don't love it.
No.
People are saying that's way too much. Guys, we just talked for 20 minutes about assets. Like, guys are saying, like, no, Ryan, that's a lot of picks. We need the other side to do it. We would need
because we're back in the Billy King days where we have like these terrible contracts and can't get out of them. You need to attach picks or young kids like a Shake with them. And Shake has no value. It's the pick. So because of that, you're right. It is a lot of picks, but that's what you have to give up in order to get something decent in return.
Yeah, guys, teams are just going to take on your slot because we want them to. You know what I mean?
You first, Don.
I mean, you're going to have to give up picks and do things like that to be able to pull it off. Rome says Ellen is going to surprise.
Oh, my bad.
Easy trigger finger. All right. Rome says Ellen is going to surprise us. Ben is probably going to get traded. I can feel it. Oh my God! Would you stop it? He wants LaMelo so bad. Him and Ralph. You guys might move in together. You got to get LaMelo posters. I mean, shit. I'll take LaMelo, but not for Ben. I'm not doing that. I'll take LaMelo and Ben.
Here's the thing, DB.
Longest backcourt ever.
He says, yeah, don't give up any picks, player for player only. Name me players that have significant value on our roster that aren't named Ben and Joel.
Make sure it's someone with an expiring contract.
Yeah,
it's
you
the
need
NBA.
money
You can't.
You need money to
get a match.
Sorry, Greg. Yep.
No, we said the same thing.
Repeat gate. But yeah, you need money to match.
Oh my God, Palatero. Davis Bertans is a free agent. Are we okay in here? He's a free agent.
Yeah.
I love Davis Bertans, but he's a free. He's not coming.
I would even do that for the Sixers. I love Hachimura, but I don't want Wall back.
I mean, I might. I mean, if that was realistic, I might do that. I might do that
trade.
Yeah. I mean, I like some Hachimura. I get rid of Al Horford and Tobias. I'll take my chances.
I guess John Wall does make that much, right?
Yeah, like that's
That's what the Corey's going to score.
Might be up to like 40 million for John Wall, if I'm mistaken.
Hey, we love bad contracts.
Oh, Pelletier says sign and trade with Bertans.
38.1. You're right, Al.
Yeah.
First time in your life.
Pootie Tang has one. Horford and the 21st overall pick and a second round for Kevin Love.
Of course.
I did that. You could do Love and Sexton for Horford and Smith. Zaire.
Oh my God! I mean, who do I gotta kiss to make that happen? I mean, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, and Love for Horford match just straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I could see why they might want to do it, but you know, if they're losing Tristan Thompson, they want a center.
Yeah,
whatever. But wow,
what is this Prism? What about Ben Simmons for Terry Rozier and Devontae?
No, I looked at the Hornets to try and find some sort of like how to get something out of the Hornets. They literally have nothing.
It's just a bunch of stuff.
It's stuff and the third overall pick in a draft full of stuff.
Yeah.
Here you go, Rome.
You can get crazy.
What do you all think about Kobe White, Levine, and number 4 for Ben? They're not going to trade both White and Levine. No. Even if it's for Ben. I don't even know if they would do that.
I don't do it.
No, I don't think I'd do it either.
And I like Kobe White a lot. I can't do it. I don't like
What was that one? What was that trade?
It was Kobe White, Levine, and the number 4 overall pick for Ben Simmons. Dang. Yeah, do it for the Lakers, Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Trade LeBron for that if you like it so much. TTP, the 4th and Zach LaVine for Joe. No, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. You'd have Levine, Ben, Wiseman, and move Toby for some. Yeah, but how many shooters are going to equate Tobias Harris's salary, though? That's
and can I guarantee that James Wiseman will be at the 4th overall pick?
That's a good point.
And if he is, are you really taking him?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have so little hope in the Sixers draft that, like, I don't even trust them with the 4th pick. I don't. Oh, what is this? Jordan Smith. Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Derek Jones for Embiid.
Oh, geez.
No, especially because 2 of them are going to be free agents, Derek Jones and Bam. Let's see. Okay, Jay. I cut a Horford and give Lamar, even though that might be an upgrade. No, that's not possible.
God.
William says Embiid for Jokic straight up. Anybody?
Nah, I keep Embiid.
I mean, it would work, but I wouldn't. I would keep Embiid. You know what I mean?
Let me see here. People were saying love for Horford. Does that even work, Frank?
It does. It does.
It
Works
does. The money
very
lines
simple.
up, yeah.
Surprisingly, it does.
Almost to the dollar.
It does.
Good. Well, that's
It
good.
does. It absolutely does. So I mean, yeah. Do they want to play that game? You know.
And somebody made a good point. Why would they want that when they have Drummond?
Well, how many more years does Kevin Love have on his contract?
Jesus, feels like
Same thing. It's almost a literally exact contract.
Really?
As it's
Okay.
4 years, 28 and change, and that's what Al is. 4 years, 28 and change.
Gotcha.
But give me
And
money.
then I know one of you guys brought up Andre Drummond. Drummond has a player option.
He's opting in. Don't worry. There's no way he's opting out.
28.9. Al's at 28 even.
Gotcha. Okay.
Spidey, give me money, ton of picks, barely get anything back. For what? For who? For what, Spidey? What are you at? You out on the whole thing? You done?
Was he Ricky Waters? For who? For what?
No, for Nito, you're that's it. That's it.
Trade the whole draft for one player, huh?
Yep, he wants everybody going. TTP, true, no more draft picks. I like my first scenario. I'm done with picks, okay?
Yeah,
I did picks for freaking 22 years, it felt like. It was pick after pick. Like, we're losing out for this guy. Hey, here we go again. And I got to watch college basketball like I'm a goddamn scout. You know what I'm saying? And I got to eye every guy like too deep. You know what I mean? Too deep.
And that's why I don't understand people saying like, oh, we can't get rid of picks, but then they followed up by saying there's nobody in this draft that they want. Guys, if people at home, if you don't like anybody that's going to be at the 10th pick, how do you think you're going to get somebody of worth at the 21st pick? You know, this is the funny thing is, this is the time to really start trading picks because there's nothing flashy right now. We're trying to win now, right? Like that's the whole purpose. So like, why, if there's nothing that we truly believe can be a full-fledged difference maker at 21 or 35 or 46 or 52, it seems like we have like 4 of those this season. What's the problem with just adding that in to get somebody who you know can play and know would fit in right away, and you don't have to wait 3 years for him to age in the system? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like a 2-for-1 punch. And you're not kicking back our clock, because then we actually get closer to a championship because you have guys that are in the league. Now that's 19-year-old.
DB says trade for Doc Rivers. I'm in.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Sand 2-5 out of the Clippers for Marcus Morris. I mean, I think you could say any name for Al, and we would say, yup.
We're all in.
I mean, Spidey says let's not pick at all this year, and we shouldn't, because if we're getting rid of some of these contracts, we're probably not picking this year. You know what I mean? So that means we know we're doing our job, or we stay put, and we're stuck to stay put, and we try to do some mid-level exception guys who can shoot the rock a little bit, and then do some things Romer's talking about. You know, at 21, if not later, and you try to just hope one of these guys you can get some guard play. You know what I mean? You somehow get some guard play. Some guys who can take some guys off the dribble, create their own shot, and a guy who can hit open threes, like the whole league can. Lord's talking about other stuff.
There was one here. There was like a friggin' here you go, DB. Horford and Shake for Buddy Hield and Rashawn Holmes. We're getting Holmes back again?
Oh, boy.
I mean, Horford in the deal. I'm in. You know what I mean? So,
Anything with Al, you guys are in. I love it.
I don't know if you're not gonna give me something that I'm not gonna say yep in. So, I mean, I've seen enough. Unless he's gonna be our seventh guy in our rotation, and he's coming off the pine, and we're good with that with all that money, then time's yours, fam. You know what I mean? Time's yours. What's Prism? Prism upset about Ben? Well, Prism. I don't see the need to keep Ben around. Watch him get hurt again and lose even more trade value. You keep something too long, you burn yourself. But you also burn yourself by doing what you did with Markelle. And you also, Prism, won't lose the trade value when the guy's going to be 25 next year. So, you know what I mean? You lose the trade value if the guy's going to be 30. Absolutely. Yep. Guy's going to be 25 next year, after the season. So, you're not losing the value on him yet. You really, truly aren't. If anything, you're going to gain value. Because if he comes out and balls, then you gain value. But if he's balling, you don't want the value anyway.
And his upside is worth the headache right now. Like we've talked about before, I've criticized him for not being the most buttoned up, focused kind of guy, kind of all about the celebrity look at me type thing. Not the biggest worker, all that. We could talk about that for 3 hours at a time. But what he's capable of, what he's shown us, and what he's supposed to be, I'm willing to give it one more year. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not.
I'm willing to give it the rest of the contract. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying with giving it one more year with the new coach, not hitting the panic button. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen. I'm trying to tell you, my panic button's 0. Like I'm letting it ride, and then I'm giving him an extension. DB, thank for Bronny James, baby. Bring Hanky back. Yep, bring him back
for another 10 years, I guess.
Zach says sign Melo and Joe Harris. I like the Joe Harris. I don't know if you have the
Joe
money.
Harris, yeah.
I like Joe Harris, but I think the Nets are going to be pursuing him a lot during free agency. Unless you
and I don't think we have the money to sign anybody big in the offseason.
Joe Harris? Is Joe Harris considered big? I wouldn't consider him big.
I don't think we have money.
We will if we move some guys.
Yeah.
/ when.
Yeah, I mean, if Spill says, I have a feeling they keep Horford, they're idiots, and that's what idiots do. Agreed. So I know he wants to move him, and he talked about wanting to change up the roster, but good luck, buddy. I'm just telling you, good luck. Good luck. You got to be some kind of magician. I mean, you got to get the rabbit out of the hat, and the rabbit really wasn't even in the hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of magician you need to be, a real one. You know what I mean? This ain't no, dog and pony show. I mean, you gotta really be a magician. You're in Disney, right? You left Disney. Hopefully you got some magic in you when you come back, because you're in trouble. You're in trouble, and I don't know if a new coach changes the way these guys play. I mean, that Horford looked like a stiff this year. So if you didn't think a new coach changes him not looking like a stiff, a new coach going to hit a wide open 3 for him, then believe what you want to believe, because all his sister does is defend him for stinking. It's comical, actually. It got comical by the end of the year. So they better be praying that a new coach just figures out a way to get life in his legs. Because,
I want to read you guys 2 trade scenarios that I found on Twitter. Both are 3-team trades, and both are a combination of strange and absolutely hideous. This is a 3-team trade with the Sixers, the Warriors, and the Sacramento Kings. The Sixers would get Buddy Hield and the number 2 overall pick from the Warriors. The Warriors would get Ben Simmons.
No. Right? Do we even need to get further than that? Yeah, I mean,
I would like to hear it. I agree. I'm done.
Greg, shut the hell up. I don't like to hear anything more. There's nothing more with any substance in that deal that I even want. The phone just got hung up, Greg. That's how that works. All right? You and your little fantasy world can hear it out later, because we heard what we got, and we already heard what we were giving up. So we out. You two want to talk? Go ahead. Like, you two team. You two want to get conversational. Be my guest, but we're out.
And just for our Kings fans out there, the Kings would get Andrew Wiggins, the 2021 first from the Warriors, and this year's Sixers first-round pick. And the answer is no.
I mean, the Kings.
Man, all 6 Kings fans are going to love that trade.
I mean, the Kings made out on that deal somehow.
Yeah.
If anybody made out on the deal, I mean, besides the Warriors somehow giving up nothing and getting Ben Simmons, like literally giving up nothing and getting Ben Simmons. No.
So that gives us basically Buddy Hield and LaMelo Ball. That's what we end up with.
To go with Joe.
Shut up,
Greg, don't soften the
No,
blow,
I'm not doing it.
I can hear you. I can hear the clicks in your head being like, with Joe.
Katie, I'll read that in 1 second. Let me get the Rome's real fast. No disrespect, but do you all really think Ben is going to be a superstar, and why? Rome, you know how I feel about him. Joe's my son. Ben's a guy I've always been critical of. But listen, the injury doesn't. The first guy in NBA history to get injured twice for the year in 1 year. I mean, that's concerning. But I still believe I've seen growth. So it's hard to believe that he still can't be the player that we expected him to be. You know, you're talking about a first-team all-defensive type of cat. You know, talking about guys getting better at the free throw line. You know, we know about his vision. So the one thing that we need, I still believe will come. I still believe it's going to come. So I can't make the same mistake as I made in the past with some players who didn't shoot. I got to give it more time. And yes, I think he has a capability of being a superstar because he's a mismatch nightmare. And the second he starts shooting is the second it's superstar talk. Now, he still needs the killer that we haven't seen fully. But I still believe he can be a superstar.
Yeah, see, I'm right there with Tom. And, you know, Jay brings up that, you know, Ben is a great defensive player. And that's big, too, because, you know, the 1-2 on defense is pretty rare, in my opinion, for younger players. It's pretty rare for just a lot of NBA players in general, if you look around the league. So when I see the 1-2 with how he wanted to improve his skills on defense and how he quickly became, you know, and obviously you saw, you know, he was 4th in the all defensive rankings list as far as, you know, all defensive player, which I think is a little ridiculous. I think he was one of the best. You know, I think he was closer to 1 than 4, but that's semantics. I'm not even there with the shooting. Like, yeah, do we want him to shoot? Yeah. Do we want him to shoot threes? Yes. I don't disagree with any of that. I just want him to be a killer. I want him to show the aggressiveness that he showed. I can't believe I'm saying this, but 2.5, 3 years ago in that 18 game winning streak that we alluded to earlier. You know, he wasn't shooting back then, but he was aggressive. And he was one of, if not the best player in the NBA during that month. Because I truly believe, like when we go back to roster construction, if you surround him with shooters and he's just that killer and that, you know, that guy who's kind of like a Giannis light or even a Giannis, somebody that you could play like him, then we're good. Then you have a guy who's going to be a killer on both sides of the ball, somebody who's a mismatch nightmare, surrounded by shooters and a dominant big man, and a coach who actually knows how to put together and, you know, put a system together as far as a game plan in and out of timeouts. So do I want him to shoot? Yes. If he does shoot, will he be one of the best players in the league? Absolutely. But it's all about the 1-2, in my opinion. And he's shown it at times, and then he's going back in his shell. And when he goes back in his shell, that's when it not only hurts him, it hurts everybody around him.
He says outside of passing defense, his game is based off physical gifts, not actual skill. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I think that skill would show more if he starts shooting, Rome. You know what I mean? And I know your stance on it.
Giannis is.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just saying Giannis not very skilled either. He's just another absolute freak of nature athletically. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when you actually look at Giannis, he can't shoot. His form is horrendous, but at least he's grown into a willing guy. You know what I mean? He's more willing to shoot, and he's got a little bit of that dog that he'll go to the basket. But Giannis' talent is gift. He's got really no talent. I mean, I'm not saying he's not talented, but he's not overly skilled at anything.
And he has the mindset. His mindset to be great has made him great. It's not because of skill. It's because he's a freaking, like you talked about, he's a freak of nature. He's a physical specimen, and he has the perfect mindset.
Well, this is it. I mean, I've always talked about his killer. You know, I always said that Joe's a killer. I don't know if Ben's ever going to be a killer. I agree with that. I'm never going to run from that one until he proves to me to be a killer. So that's a fair assessment. You know what I mean? And that's something I need to see more of. But I think if he shoots a little more, He'll be more comfortable being a killer. You know, he just hope he can buy into it a little bit more. But Sand says, would you trade Ben for Booker right now? Boys, Frank, Ralphie, Greg, Rye?
Absolutely. I love Ben, but I mean, if I don't do that, I think I'm getting a little crazy.
Would you do Joel for Booker and pair him and Ben up together?
Christ almighty.
Um,
And what, put Al at the 5, I guess?
No. If it's going to put Al at the 5, no.
Just the picture of Ben dribbling up the floor and kicking it out to Booker for 3.
I think Ben and Booker combination would be better, in my opinion, than Booker and Embiid.
you don't got to worry about Ben shooting.
Yeah, I'd probably do
Just
that.
Need a playmaker.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Booker's like one of like the 4 guys I would do that with. I would trade both.
So you would do Ben for Booker?
I would do Joel for Booker.
Yeah. See, I would do that. I would do that as well too. I would do Joel for Booker because I think that Ben and Booker would be a lot better together.
Well, just
I think you can make arguments that both. You can make arguments that both, because they're both great, right? Or all 3 of them are great.
Absolutely.
So you can make arguments that either one of them together with Booker work, because you can use the high-low that Joe was talking about with JJ Redick, right? You know, that allows him to space the floor, play that dribble handoff game with Booker. My only issue with Booker, and it's always going to be my issue with Booker, is he's a black hole. The ball goes in and he doesn't come out, and that's fine if you have that team around him. But when you have other guys like either a Ben or Joe, or more specifically a Joel needs his touches. You know, and in Phoenix, Devin doesn't have to give up touches to anybody. You know, so that's always been my issue with Devin.
Well, yeah, Devin Booker runs the show in Phoenix, right? The ball goes through him no matter who's on the court with him. So I totally get where you're coming from.
TTP says, do you guys do – oh, I think we clicked at the same time. Do you guys do Ben for Booker or Ben for Beal first?
I do Ben for Booker.
I really like Beal. Damn it, TTP. It's a great question.
It's got to be Booker because of the age.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, he's just so young. He's just so freaking young.
And so far, there's no injury concern with Booker.
Oh, God. I got to hit something. Okay, I knocked on wood.
Well, Booker's not ours, so it doesn't matter.
Hold on. You guys are that off for making the move right now? You're driving? Now you're knocking on wood, you too? No, if the Booker gets hurt right now. I'm still not.
No, Ben. I'm not giving up Ben either.
Yeah, what up, Pop? I'm just chilling on a cracker. You know what I mean? A little cheap. You know what I mean? We go commercial free here. Sometimes you got to get a breather. There'll probably be a Jimmy Leland here in a minute. Everybody knows Jimmy Lee. Love Poppy. Poppy's aces. Top notcher. The pupster. Great guy.
Ooh, I like that one. What Jay said.
What?
Get back to yelling at Ralph.
Break up. Shut up. Are you guys freaking clueless? Jay, I love you.
Hey, I like that one.
There's nothing like the guy's 31 years old. What do you like that deal? 31 freaking years old. I'm getting a 24-year-old for a 31-year-old. Get a clue.
I love that trade.
He just wants Dame out of the West because he doesn't want to see him every year.
And he's got the injury concerns. How'd Dame do the other night? Didn't play, right?
Oh, stop. Come
on.
I'm just telling you, that's a finger. Oh, I got to go fix it.
Rum says sons don't do, but I'll pack Ben's bags. I know you.
Yeah. I love Ben, but I mean, Booker.
Yeah. But I'm packing bags too. I'll smack Jay. I love you. I'll backhand you for that deal.
See, if I was playing 2K with the salary cap turned off and having trades go anywhere, maybe I'll do it. But in real life, absolutely not. But, you know, in my ideal 2K world, I would make the trade.
TTP says Ben for Booker, then sign Van Vliet to run the point.
Look at you. We're just, I mean, now, jeez, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Anybody doing Ben for Jamal Murray?
No.
The volleyball players would.
Wow.
Okay, I saw this the other day. Would you guys do Ben for Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray?
No. Ralphie.
Greg's hesitating.
Greg silent. As soon as Greg said nothing,
I would
I'm
think
like, okay,
about
that's a
it.
yes.
I would think about it. It'd be tough. But the combo of them two, because that would solve, two positions or two issues, right?
With Joe.
Well, not only that, but Porter has a similar game to Ben, but Porter shoots, right? I mean, Ben's better than Porter, but Porter at least shoots. And then Jamal can flat out stroke it. So I would think about it. It'd be tough for me to pull the trigger because I love me some Ben, but
Yeah, it's a tough one. But
Donovan Mitchell for Ben?
no.
Ben for Luka, not even. Yeah, but the bags aren't even. I ain't even packing the bag.
The only guy that you will get me flat out yes for Ben is Luka.
Yeah, I'll throw him out of the room. I mean,
Out of the room.
like, get out of the room. Don't even pack your bags.
You get a new contract, go buy new stuff.
So let's segue here. We're an hour in, but so stay on Sixers here for a few more. But I want to get your guys' top 3 candidates that you want to be Sixers head coach, and then tie that in after you give your top 3. Then I want to know the most realistic one. So like
I'll sit back, let you guys talk about this. Don't bother me. I'll just.
What are you opting out of today's show or something? What are you doing?
It's hey, you guys do you guys. I'll just sit back and listen to you guys. You guys are doing good. By the way, Ben for Luka J, absolutely.
we know that, right? We've already been there, babe. Good to have you.
Ralph, I just want to tell you one thing. You're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. That's all I'm saying.
So I'm going to say the top 3 I want would be. I really love. No,
yourself, and yourself.
No, I would love me some Sam Cassell. Jay Wright would be my second one, even though
Jay Wright, you gotta love it.
I got to throw him in there.
Yeah, I know.
And obviously, my third just came up today.
Can't be original.
My
Who was
third
your third?
came up today. Kid, he got fired from Indiana, and that's Nate McMillan.
Oh, Nate McMillan, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I like Nate McMillan. And then the most realistic one, I agree with Jay on this one, is Lue. I think I think there's a strong interest on both sides. So that's the most realistic.
That's 4. You said 3.
No.
He gave his top 3, and then he gave his most realistic. He didn't say it had to be one of your top 3.
For somebody who's refusing to talk, you really can't listen.
Someone who opted out of this segment, he's really involved.
Yeah.
And say all the wrong stuff.
When an opt out goes wrong. So Sammy Cassell, Jay Wright, Nate McMillan wrap out my top 3 that I would want, and then the one I think that's most realistic would be Lue, because I just think they both, that's what they both want. Mm-hmm. So, boys, whoever's up next, I'm on Jimmy Leland it.
Go ahead, Greg.
I wish this was last year because I really wish that we could keep in Monty Williams. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then of course you see what he does in Phoenix with Devin Booker and a bunch of whatever, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with Jay Wright. I like Jay Wright. I think he, not only I think he's one of the better pure coaches because of what he has to do at Villanova with all the restrictions and recruiting deficiencies that they have at Villanova. And plus he's a guard guy, which of course we need help with our guards. I'm a big Jason Kidd guy as well. I like Jason Kidd. Again, going back to what he was coming out of college, he was a pure point guard, didn't have a shot, and he became obviously one of the better 3-point shooters, at least percentage-wise or in total made in NBA history. So obviously he's learned, and I think that can translate to Ben very well. And I agree with Tommy, Nate McMillan, when he jumps out into the open market, he jumps right onto your top board.
Yeah, he has to. Correct? I mean, we talk about it all the time when we play the Pacers, right? Why do the Pacers always scare me? Because they play hard. And what did the Sixers lack the last 3-4 years outside of when the process years is we lacked the playing hard and being defensive minded. And that's what gave the Sixers so much fits when they played Indianapolis or Indiana. So Nate McMillan is definitely up there.
I'll go honorable mention. I do like Alvin Gentry. I thought he got a raw deal there in New Orleans. My most realistic, I don't like it. I don't like him. But the hot rumor obviously is the Ty Lue. I don't necessarily think that he's great, but he did win, and he was able to handle and work with LeBron. So whatever you want to say about that, you know what I mean? Whether LeBron ran that or whatever, he still did deal with it, and then he still won. So, we could sit there and knock that he's not very good. Like I do it all the time. But at the end of the day, he still won in the NBA, and we haven't yet in a long time. So
I'll go. I'll make mine a little bit different at the back end of it. My number one's Jay Wright for the reasons that were stated before. I'll just echo that just so I don't, repeat what we already said. My number two, I'll go Tyronn Lue, not because I think he's the best X's and O's guy, but to Greg's point, he has that championship experience. And I always laugh at this too, because people always talk about how, he wasn't really the head coach, but LeBron was. Those are the same people that take shots at LeBron and say that he's like LeBron doesn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? Like they take shots at LeBron for being a player coach, but if that was the case, shouldn't LeBron be getting credited for being a player coach? You know what I mean? Like, so at the end of the day, Ty Lue was at the top of that organization as far as coaching. And to Greg's point, like we've talked about numerous times before, he's shown that he has the ability to manage superstar talents. Obviously, Ben and Joel aren't the caliber of a superstar like LeBron James. Nobody is right now, but he's shown, unlike a guy like Brett and some of the other guys around the open market, that they show that they have championship and playoff success and they can manage the personalities and everything that goes along with it. And my number three, I put him in here just for fun. I've been saying him for the last 2 years. I don't think it's realistic, but I think somebody, former player, he'd come in here, and I think he'd be a really good culture guy. And also, ever since he's been at Georgetown, he's really brought that organization back to relevancy. He took over an absolute dumpster fire of an organization there, and that's Patrick Ewing. I think that would just be fun.
I can't do it. I can't root for a Nick. I can't root for a Nick.
Greg, you can sacrifice your allegiance for 1 year. You can sacrifice it for 1 year, okay?
Wait, we're signing it. We're only signing him for 1 year?
No, I'm saying to get 1 year to get to the championship, and then that's gone. Then we don't worry about with the Nick. We associate him with a Sixers championship head coach. You know what I'm saying? He's not even worried. You don't even think about the Knicks anymore. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you think a guy like Patrick Ewing's going to put up with Joel Embiid not playing down low, Ben Simmons not doing what he needs to do? And I'm not saying I need a rah-rah guy, but, again, he's not somebody that's just going to wave the pom-poms, and he's developed talent at Georgetown from absolute. I mean, they were embarrassing when he got there, and they're a legitimate organization now. So I've always said Patrick Ewing. My most realistic, I'll just change it up instead of just saying Ty Lue. Another realistic name, I'm going to go Kenny Atkinson, because while I don't believe he's necessarily the prototypical championship type head coach, what he's shown, and I think this organization is going to want a guy like this. What has always been the criticism of Brett Brown? He hasn't been able to do what with our players? Develop them.
Hold them accountable. Oh, okay.
Well, that too.
Adjustments.
Greg, there's a long list with Brett. There's a long list. Kenny Atkinson showed when he was there, he can get the most out of his guys that aren't superstars. He's developed talent. So obviously he's been on the open market for a while, ever since Kevin Durant got there and said, hey, I want our guys, not your guys. Kenny Atkinson, do I love it? No, but I think it's realistic, and I would be fine with it if it happened.
No, I like that list. The only thing I question about Ewing is I don't know that we go, as much as I hate the retread of the NBA, I don't know if we go brand new guy for this roster.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that would be like a Patrick Ewing, or even an outside the wall or outside the box type of an assistant. Like Sam Cassell to me, Jason Kidd to me, those guys aren't outside the box assistants. You know what I'm saying? Like they've all played, they've all been in the league long enough. And I'm not saying Patrick hasn't been in the league, but from a coaching standpoint, there's a reason why a bunch of teams in the NBA passed over him, right? Almost going back to kind of the Ryan Sandberg thing. Like, why did the Cubs continually pass over Ryan Sandberg? And then the Phillies came in and be like, oh, well, we'll give him a shot. And, so that's my only hesitation with Patrick is I don't disagree that I think he's a good, he potentially is a good coach. Don't you bring up Frank Martin. I love me some Frank Martin.
I love Frank Martin too, but ever since he left Kansas State, I'm a little bit with him.
But I like to see more from Patrick, and especially I think this roster's looking for a guy almost ready to go and ready to take them over the hump, and I just don't know if Patrick's that guy.
That's fair.
But if we're getting ready to blow it up, again and we restart this process, then give me Patrick. Let's go.
Yeah, like I said, it's not going to happen.
Give me Ralph too if we're trying to blow it up and dumb.
He could be the mole. Frank?
Worse than BC.
And you won't have any burners.
True. Man, looking at coaching candidates, the one that I'm really set on right now is Ty Lue. I mean, looking at the list, I like the idea of Ty Lue. I like the idea of Nate McMillan. Ryan, you brought Kenny Atkinson. But I have a gut feeling, just a weird feeling that they are going to try to go in-house for their next coaching hire. I don't know why. I'm having a weird feeling.
Udoka?
Yeah, Ume Udoka or Joseph Blair. They're the two assistants under Brett Brown.
This computer will get flipped on camera.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're going to go in-house, but, I think they're going to go for a guy like Ty Lue or Nate McMillan as the coaching.
They could go in-house. They could go in-house. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go in-house. We've seen this before, especially with the GM search where, what's going to be the name we're going to get? Are we going to get Sam Presti? Are we going to get who was the other guy that we were trying to look after for GM? I don't remember, but then they decided to get not Morey.
We were looking at him last year.
Yeah, we were looking at Morey. We were looking at Sam Presti, and then we decided to go in-house and go with Elton Brand. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go in-house and go with Dakota or Blair. But
Udoka would make sense.
Udoka would make sense.
Well, just because of this, because correct me if I'm wrong, after our assistant coach went over to the Suns,
right?
Elton hired him. Elton hired Udoka. So you know what I'm saying? You already know the thoughts of him.
Right. And Udoka is under the pop tree as well. So unless they want to sit
Great.
Yeah.
I knew that name sounded familiar when I saw it.
Yep.
But again, if we go in-house, again, we lost out on – and I don't know if we truly lost out on him. I think he's a good coach, though. But Lloyd Pierce down there in Atlanta, he's dealt a bad hand down there. But, again, all years to, decide we're going to go in-house and cut away from Brett. And we let potentially our two better assistants that we've had in the last couple of years go elsewhere before we make that move. That's typical what we're dealing with here with the Sixers.
Somebody asked earlier, I believe it was Yusuf, if the Rockets coach got fired, would we?
D'Antoni?
No.
I don't want D'Antoni.
It's like opposite.
He was here.
What our roster is.
Yeah, true.
And he was here
at the roster.
So another retread then.
BC brought him in because that was the whole theory that BC was going to run Brett out of town and make this the Mike D'Antoni show. But Tom's absolutely correct. You have a roster that isn't able to do the run and gun,
right?
And the fast paced half court or fast break type of offense. Joel just isn't able to do that.
And Ben can't shoot or won't shoot.
And Ben can't shoot.
I mean, definitely can run, but just, nobody to shoot the ball when you run.
Yeah.
So. The D'Antoni system is literally nobody taller than 6'5".
Yeah.
Everybody that can shoot and nobody that can play defense. That's like the anti-Sixers roster.
But I look back at D'Antoni too, he never won anything in Phoenix with the Suns, and he had a buttload of talent over there. And he hasn't won anything, and he's totally underachieved in Houston. So,
And I hate his freaking.
I know
like, his,
I know it's the
hate his
NBA that's retread central, but
yeah, I just can't stand his stereotypical 7-8 man freaking rotation. You know what I'm saying? Like he has an entire bench, he doesn't use them. And that might be good for us because our bench always sucks. But you know what I'm saying. Like in the regular season, we'll be up by friggin' 20 to Atlanta, and he'll be sticking with the same 8 guys, a friggin' retread 8-man rotation. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Darvin Ham. SJM's talking about.
I didn't know if that was I saw that. I didn't know if that was a joke or not because I didn't even realize that he's even still around.
Yep. He's been with Milwaukee. He's with Milwaukee right now under Budenholzer.
Okay.
So I'll ask you guys this one other Sixers related question.
Right, Ralphie's out on that one.
Oh yeah. Forgot he's opting out of the discussion once again. Give me, and I have the list if you want to go through it. If not, I completely get it. Your number one realistic free agent target that you would like the Sixers to go out and get.
Realistic? I mean, Joe Harris is the name. Realistic money wise, like you might be able to do like a DJ Augustine, like. I mean, Bellinelli's a guy who could be out there if you want to run that back through.
What about somebody like a Jay Crowder?
I like Jay, but doesn't shoot the, almost like play same position as Tobias. So what is it? What does it do?
I mean, he's a depth piece with he's like an Andre Iguodala type. You know what I mean?
Not going to shoot the 3 enough. Create spacing issues again. You know what I mean? So you're trying to find ways to create some of that and get some shooters on the floor. Like DJ can shoot it a little bit, obviously a little older now, and Joe Harris can shoot it. There's like two names that are in the ballpark of money you'll be able to spend too. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, you're not going to have a lot of money to spend here, and you got to do it by like mid-level exceptions, etc. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. So you're in a tough ballpark. Like, who would I want? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, give me Fred VanVleet, but you're not going to get him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not realistic. So you just got like some of the lower level names.
TTP, like, I love Hardaway, but there's no way we can get him because of the money, and 2, I'd be shocked if the Mavericks let him go, to be honest. And the same thing with. We talked about this earlier, Bertans. He's perfect, but there's going to be a team out there that's going to see what he did in DC this year and is going to say, okay, we're one lights out shooter away, and they're going to way overpay for him. We just don't have that luxury.
Yeah, man, you might be able to get Hazonia from, Portland. He's not going to
still under contract though.
He's not.
Well, I think he's a restricted.
You know what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
There's just not much out there with the money. With the money you have, too. So, Hazonia is a good name, but he's a hot and cold guy, big time. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost having like Korkmaz. Dario is going to be out there, but you want to clog it some more. I mean, I love Dario. Corver, another guy who will be out there next year. You know what I mean? You look at some of these types of names that can space it a little bit. And that's their only options, honestly. It's stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead,
Greg.
No, I was going to say we're so far over the cap right now that we have no money, and like you're right. Like Hardaway's got a player option, but he's currently making like $18 million a year.
Yep. So
he's really going to decline his player option to then make like $2 million with the Sixers because that's what it would have to be almost,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you look at
The name is Jordan
Just-
Clarkson. The name's Jordan Clarkson, but we're not, like I was telling Tom, we were talking about it before the show. He's lighting it up in Utah right now. So if they even let him go, you're gonna have to pay way too much for him.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
These aren't realistic. You know, as much as I like the guy, it's not a realistic name because of money.
Yep.
The realistic names are the Corbers of the world, the Joe Harrises, right? Like if you want Dario back, you could probably bring Dario back in a guard. You know what I mean? Like you could do things like that. But you know, you want Avery Bradley. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the names.
Yeah, Chris Dunn, like
Yeah, I mean, so you gotta look for guys who can shoot. Harris can shoot. Corver can shoot. You know, you don't want to go 2 on that end. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe like a Harris and I mean, you guys like Tony Snell at all? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, the only way we're moving this roster a lot is via trade. It's the only way because we have to move contracts and we got to get throw-in guys that we think can fit with us.
here's an
sucks.
intriguing
Are we
name.
bringing him back from China? You know what I mean? He's over in China balling.
You got a name, Greg?
Intriguing name, Austin Rivers.
They're not letting him go. He will not walk. I'd be shocked.
I would think
He's a
all
perfect
Though,
name.
he's only making-
in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
And I'm not crowning him. He's just a guy who can score the basketball.
Mhm.
So I mean that's all I'm looking for.
You know, reuniting with Nerlens or MCW.
No, like I'd rather go on the Dario side if I'm going to do a reunion because at least I know Dario will attempt the 3 ball and can space it a little bit before. So I'm good with that and get the bias back into a
Agreed.
natural 3, get the bias into the 3 a little bit too, and then I can maybe go like a Joe Harris, you know, something like that. So I mean, like I could do that. I could do a Harris and Dario. I feel like I stretched it a little bit better. You know what I mean? Than I did, but again, nothing to like run down broad over.
We're probably going to have to re-sign or at least try to re-sign Alec Burks because that's somebody that you could probably get at a lower price. But that, I mean, I like Alec Burks, but that doesn't make me excited.
No, I mean it gives you some bench help if you can bring in some of these guys. And I agree with Jordan Smith. Like Harris might get paid when you talk about Joe Harris. So I mean,
Yeah,
you might not have the money for him either. So it might have to be like a Corver or Bellinelli, somebody who can just come in and shoot the 3 ball a little bit, and then you got to address your guard play elsewhere. 21 in the draft, obviously got to address it, and then depends on what other way you want to go. You want to go for like a Dario, bring back Alec Burks. You could go that direction. You know what I mean?
Well, Frank, did you say you had a list of who were the free agents coming up for the Sixers? Like who the guys are on the Sixers that are free agents?
Yeah, I do have the list. When I came up with my list, it was mostly players I wanted to stay or go. But I do have a couple of the names. Let me just pull them up just to confirm.
Yeah, because I know like Furkan's a free
Shabazz
agent.
Napier do anything for you?
Furkan's got 1 year left on his contract.
Shabazz Napier.
He did when he was coming out of college.
That's the only reason I saw the name, and I'm like, I'm going back to my UConn. They're watching UConn in the tournament with Shabazz.
Yeah, it's Brokoff, Burks, Neto, O'Quinn, Glenn Robinson III.
Yeah.
And they're your cap holds. So I don't even know. That's like, I guess that's, you can keep them for that money or let them walk, right? I guess that's
Yeah, correct. So the cap hold is what they're making now. And if you want to re-announce their rights, they go into free agency if you do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to keep Glenn and Alec Burks for that kind of money. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, this is where like you look at like Korkmaz, right? And you decline the option, and then you sign them back, and now he's gone after a year already. You know what I mean? Where you could have had him under control if you would have had. And I'm not crowning Korkmaz, but now we're still looking for that same scenario where we still need a shooter, and we can. I'm not saying he's a starter, but he's another guy that you could at least is serviceable at times.
Yeah, I'll happily trade. I'd rather get Furkan out of here and bring in Corver because I would be shocked if we don't see Furkan's minutes decrease a little bit next year. So say, for example, his minutes go down to around, 10, 11, 12. At least I know Korver's making the shot. I know if he's playing for 10 minutes, I know he's making 2 threes.
Yeah, you're not rolling there. That's for sure. Got a nice shiner rocking now.
Rivers is a player option. Dario and Harris are straight free agents. Yeah, I mean, I would love Dario and Harris. I think that'd be a good solid start to the space game. This is what we call space gate. What?
SJM before.
Yeah. So with that, with Rivers having a player option.
Hold on. Did that happen, TTP?
Ralph, can you confirm?
What?
The prompter, Ralph.
I'll look it up. I'll look up.
Wow. Is that true? Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, that was fun, guys. That was a fun NBA Bob.
And this has been sports.
Oh my goodness. Got no comment. I'll keep my mouth shut. We're going to just lead the bubble.
Wow. Wait, whoa.
Wow.
Yes, that is true. From Shams. That is what TTP is saying. That is true.
Y'all go with that?
Well, the Sixers already started their boycott 3 days ago.
Yeah.
One thing they got off to an early start with. Yes, it's true. The Lakers and Clippers are done for the season.
I get it. Then it's done. So the rest of them are all going to walk out, and it's the end of. We're going to go down without a champion, boys. So does Brett get his job back?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Lighten it up. Somebody lighten it up. Yeah, SAM, nothing can be said. It is what it is. I said in the video earlier, I didn't mean any disrespect by it. I want sports. There's ways we can do this with sports. Sports always brings people together. So I hope this all just blows over. Not blows over in terms of playing sports. Like to get back on the court blows over. Or guys are just upset and maybe, I know they voted on it and, we'll see. Okay. But it sucks. It sucks for the people who love sports. Right. And use sports as a way to, escape all the craziness that's been 2020 a little bit. That's all.
So I have, I'll pass along this info here. This is via Shams. Sources, every team besides the Lakers and the Clippers voted to continue playing. LeBron James said in the meeting he wanted owners to be more involved and take action. Let's see. Miami's Udonis Haslem spoke and essentially told everyone in the room that without the Lakers and Clippers, how will the season continue? LeBron James walked out. Rest of Lakers and Clippers exited behind him.
Well, it is what it is, boys. Flyers look good today. Up 3-0. And then they blow it a little bit, but to get the dressing room with a win was huge to tie the series up at 1. And Carter Hart, 31 saves today. I thought he did a hell of a job, even though they came back in this game. I don't put that all on him, but a lead you want to hold on to. You know what I mean? You don't want to be blowing 3-0 leads in this series. Islanders are a damn good hockey team. I still think this goes 7.
I agree.
I was talking to my dad about that. My dad, lifelong Islanders fan since '72, and he says they're both really good teams. He also expected this game in 7, and he also won a good chunk of change out of it too today. So
yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah. He picked the first goal of the game with Kevin Hayes.
Oh, he picked that.
He picked.
He was that specific.
He was that specific. Yeah.
Nice job.
Nice stuff for him. Yeah, we were both talking about the series. It was we're thinking that this series is going to go to 7. I'll constantly follow the Islanders. They're my dad's team, so I'll just follow where he goes. Hope whoever wins. It's good. It's going to be a fun ride for the Stanley Cup for both teams.
Yeah,
I mean, I like their fight when they came out. You know what I mean? Like they haven't lost back-to-back games since January.
Yep.
So, and you saw that in the first period. You're right, Tom. It was a little concerning to give that all back. I thought a couple of those were cheapies on Carter, but I'm not going to sit there and roast the guy. In the first period, he was the one that kept us in it.
Yep.
At times. So, when you stand on your head in the first period, you give up a couple cheapies late. I'm okay with it, especially as we come out with the W at the end. So, still would like to see more from a couple guys, mainly Giroux. But you saw Cooch come out today, Hayes come out today. Still missing TK, still missing Lawton, who we had late, especially coming out of the bubble. We had a burst from Lawton. I don't know where that is right now. So, we still have room to go, and we're still playing pretty decent.
Yeah, Carter kept us in game 1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
That game could have got ugly real quick and held us in there for go through the first 2 periods. So, I mean, I can't put anything on him so far in this series. Played well.
No, absolutely.
Everybody frozen?
No, I'm just reading what's happening. I'm just reading.
I'm just sweating because it's humid in my house. So
don't hit that. Please don't start that fan. Please, for the love of God, we don't need.
It's been off.
You don't need the fan.
John Lynn says, "Let's throw the Suns and Grizzlies back in and continue." 36ers back in. We can get it, Coach.
Yeah, Don said earlier, breaking. There you go, breaking news. The Sixers are bringing back Brett Brown for a 2-year extension. Just what we need, Don. That's just what we need.
Because none of this counts now. Oh, wow. So, yeah, so I don't know. Why is this
I'm sorry, I'm speechless.
Why is this every Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, it happened.
You guys were on when everything shut down the first time, right?
Yeah, it was me, Tom, and Ralphie, and it was kind of like this. We were just watching the screen. We were just like,
listen, I respect decisions. I'll say that a million times. I respect the decision. Doesn't mean I have to agree with not playing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to agree with not playing and still respect it. I can have both. I'm allowed to have both. I'm allowed to say, no, I think you should still play. I think you could draw more attention to the matter by playing and doing things right than not playing. Not playing just takes you away from everything. You know what I mean? It takes you out of the spotlight. Right, boys? It does the opposite effect not playing. It takes you away from the spotlight. Doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Right? The reason these guys are in the spotlight is because they play. If you don't play, are you in the spotlight? If you never played at the professional level, would you be in this spotlight to be able to have change and try to create change? You know what I mean? You probably wouldn't be. So I'm not saying don't try to do it. I want you to. I want you to voice your opinions on all your platforms. You know what I mean? I want you to do all that stuff. And I want you to try to create change and create different charities and ways to get back and what LeBron does. I want you to do that stuff. You know what I mean? But I also want you to play a sport that we all love you watching you guys play. That you guys obviously have loved playing for your whole lives. Right? We can get justice and have it both ways. Again, I'll respect it, man. It's what's great about this country. Because they can do what they want to do. You know what I mean? And I can say I respect it and say I wish you guys would play too. Like I wish you guys could do both. But it is what it is. And I'm not going to create a huff and puff about it. I mean, it is what it is. Sports are just supposed to bring us together.
I'll ask you guys this. Because Tom, Ralph, we kind of Greg's point to where it happened on Wednesday. First time everything was kind of paused. I'll ask you guys the same question, like we were talking about that night. Now that the NBA has kind of started this process, do you believe the MLB, and we're seeing it in small instances, MLB games have been postponed tonight. MLS, the NHL has, yet to follow in that suit. But my question is to all of you guys in the fan at home: do you see this happening in the MLB, the NHL, and also in the NFL? Because we're also 2 weeks away from that beginning as well.
Right, I'll keep it as simple as possible for you. The year is 2020.
Nothing surprises you.
And nothing you say would surprise me. Every major league team gets shut down tomorrow.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be shocked anymore. I just want to be shocked. It's after 9/11. What brought us? What brought? And it's different comparisons. But somebody brought this up to me today, and they were wrong, because sports is what brought this country together. After that, after horrific stuff went on in this country, what brought us together? We all remember that game. We all remember them games when we came back. We all remember them. Nobody here, if you're old enough, you sure as hell remember that happening in your life. And you remember a country coming together, right? Do we all remember that?
Yep.
So video surfacing of this country coming together. But if you guys all want to think sports are going to create some kind of change and people are going to wake up tomorrow and these issues are going to go away, no. It's like, don't run from your problems. And to me, boycotting is almost running from it in a way. Because what are you guys doing? What are you guys going to do about it then? Because now you really got to, if you're leaving the bubble, now you really got to hit the streets, right? Fair? Like you're leaving. You're leaving to create change. So, entire rosters better be out there. That's all. I better see big things happen then. Big thing. I want changes like everybody else does. I want equality just like everybody else does. So you're putting your money where your mouth is by leaving the bubble and boycotting games, and that's fine. That's fine that you're right. But I think we all can say then we want to see more when you get out of the bubble, right? You know what I mean, guys? Just fairly. That's it. It's not asking for a lot. It's just a shame, because I thought everything the NBA doing up until now was the right move. I like the jersey decisions. Everything else they did. Players speaking up. I have no problem with any of that stuff. That's how you feel. But leaving and not playing, just like, I don't know.
Ralph, and I'm not taking a shot at you at all, but as a fan of a team that's involved in this, what's your stance right now? I mean, because the four of us, in a way, like the Sixers are out. Like the Sixers started the boycott 4 days ago or 3 days ago. So, like, as a fan, selfishly, the selfish way to look at it, we're not losing anything as Sixers fans because they're already out. The Lakers, obviously, they're one of the two teams. So, what's your stance on it at the moment?
I stand right with them. Whatever they decide to do, I'm right with them, and that it is right there. So whatever they got to do it. I'm right with you.
Yeah, I just don't have blind loyalty in all my athletes like that. So just to say I stand right with you, I do. I stand right with you in all the movement more than you can imagine. But the game is a game we all loved growing up. When we went out and played sports, why did we do it? We did it to escape stuff and have fun, right? Isn't that what we did it for? Like when we watch and talk about it, don't we get away from the everyday? Right? No matter how bad your day is, you come home and watch some sports, and it just takes you away. And I just hope I wanted it to come together. Listen, TTP, I'm not missing the bigger picture at all. I said it 1,000 times. I respect what they want to do. I respect it. I can just have the other side of it in a way too, and still say, hey, it's your guys' decision, obviously. Like Ralphie said, you know what I mean? Like I agree with that side. I just would like to see sports try to do more of this in a way. And I don't know what the right way to do that is. I don't think anybody does, nor do the players. I think they're trying. And that's why I respect it. They're trying. So don't I'm not taking anything away from what they're doing. But it just sucks again. I think we're all allowed to say it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say it sucks. I feel like it's such a political, it's 2020. I gotta be careful every word, but it doesn't suck. I mean, shit, come on. It sucks. It sucks. And you can call me selfish or whatever you want to call me. It sucks. I love sports. So if that's selfish, then call me selfish. I love sports. But I get it. Why can't I say both things? I don't know why that's so hurtful today. It can't suck, but still respect. Shit. God.
I'll just say this, and Tom, we all talk about this before. I never
selfish truth. Get the fuck out of here.
I think he's joking. I hope so. If not, he's an idiot. I always try to, whether it's on Wednesdays, whenever we're on shows together, I always try and, like we talk about, Tom, sports is the great escape from whatever we go through in life, in our own lives, and obviously all the way up to the top, it's an escape. So to Tom's point, the selfish thing, like it sucks that this comes into and almost, it comes into our quote unquote escape. But the one thing I'll say is this, whichever side, because we've seen a lot of both the last 24 hours, the last 6 months, whichever side you fall, I think the one thing we can agree on is that the word perspective means a lot more now than it ever has. And that's regardless of which side, what your ideologies are, your beliefs, what you think is right, what you think is wrong, any of that, on any given topic. Because perspective does not just talk about sports or social issues or anything. It's perspective is your opinion of whatever you're talking about at the time. And we've seen that the perspective of some people in their view has been overshadowed. And whether that's right or wrong, that's just reality. That's the way, that's 2020. That's where we're living right now. And the perspective of sports fans for some is, and this is where people get angry, to say, oh, well, we want sports because it's an escape. That's one person's perspective. They have the right to that perspective. They have the right to that opinion. They have the right to want sports. On the other side, they could say, okay, well, while we love sports, while we love the Lakers and the Clippers and the Sixers, well, I don't love the Lakers, but Ralph does. I like the Sixers. We can say that while that's fun, there are things that are more important. It's perspective. And they have a right to their own perspective and opinion. Like Tom said, it sucks. It sucks that we go from talking about, trading Joel and Ben, and then news comes in similar to that night 5-6 months ago when, the NBA got shut down the first time, where everything kind of gets pushed to the side. But that's just, like Tom said, that's the reality we live in.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me about other sports. I mean, I would venture the NFL. NBA is. Listen, I mean, the NBA has always been ahead of the curve. I've always given them a ton of credit for that. So, I could see other leagues follow suit. I don't know. I don't know about baseball and hockey. I don't want to venture off and say either way. I could see some lower level sports like the MLS do more of it. The NFL is the tricky one for me because there's so much money involved. Not that there isn't in the NBA, but NFL is buku. So, the NBA's been going on for like 22 months now. They're all right.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. The NBA had already made their money, right? Baseball and NFL, they're trying to either recoup or get going on that foot on the financial side, right? So could that still, could they still make the decision however they want to go? Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I think you NFL, and as much money as they make, you maybe, a delay or something, but yeah, who knows? Who knows anymore, right? We said it all the time. It's 2020. Who knows what's going to happen anymore?
Is that an asteroid here yet?
I think the
two hurricanes are about to hit the Gulf.
Time's yours. I said it earlier in the one. I'm speechless, really speechless. So I tried to do a video earlier, just explaining just how I felt, and I think how a lot of people thought. And it can be perceived the wrong way in 2020, which sucks. Because I'll say it a million times since this happened. I mean, I'll respect their opinions. I'm not going to out here trashing nobody. Like, it is what it is. What can I do about it? You know what I mean? Sucks for us that love the NBA as much as I do. And the fact that I love the NBA as much as I do is another reason why I'll respect their decision. You understand? You understand both sides to the family out there? I can do that. Hey, you can stay in the middle, but still have respect both sides. It's a fun time. 2020 could be a lot more fun. We all just dove in the middle a little bit. You know what I mean? Enjoy being the peanut butter and jelly once in a while. Right in the middle.
Will just came out and said that the decision isn't final. What happened today was more of like a polling. So obviously more discussions are going to happen into tomorrow. You could probably, assume that tomorrow's games will be canceled as well. And I guess more information and discussions are going to happen tomorrow. Quote, everyone is still too emotional. There needs to be more time to come together, was somebody that he quoted in his most recent tweet. So the Clippers.
Sorry, I was saying it's not a good sign if LeBron's walking out of stuff.
No, absolutely. But yeah, you say the Clippers and Lakers voting perhaps not continue with the season was more considered a polling. That final vote, the resumption of the playoffs still remains in the air. So I mean, it still definitely can happen, but it hasn't been officially decided on yet. That's probably going to come at some point in the next probably 24 to 36 hours.
I mean, the one guarantee we can supply to the fam is that regardless, we'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the one thing we can, just like when it all started 6 months ago. You know what I mean? We'll be talking about something. We just don't know what that something will be.
Get back into the top list.
We've got I feel like last week when we were talking about the fast food things and somebody was like, hey, we have that fast food bracket. I think we said that a little too loud. Said that. And somebody said earlier, they're like, oh, just start talking about movie quotes. You guys like that. Preview for next week's show.
It's looking like that, isn't it? Wow.
No, Palazzaro, I don't think they left. I don't think they left the bubble that quick. I don't think it was a mad rush.
They didn't leave the bubble. I just think they walked out of that meeting.
They logged out of the Skype.
Well, I mean,
no. Apparently, everybody was in a ballroom, all discussing it face to face and in person. So,
and you got two teams walking out of the meeting.
And you look at the players that are on that. I mean, this is
no, you're absolutely right. And the biggest voice of all of them is on one of those teams.
I mean, this isn't the Magic and friggin'
just like Pat Bev said when everybody was wondering if basketball was coming back. If LeBron says we play, we play.
Yeah, and also, at the end of the day, the other thing is, I mean, you take the two teams out of it. You just say Team A, Team B. I mean, if two teams are out, I mean, it throws the monkey wrench into what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. I hear you, SJM. I hear you. I see you, Don.
I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to help. It's going to hurt the NBA a little bit. And they'll be fine. They'll survive it. You know what I mean? Because they're global. But it'll hurt their TV revenue a little bit. And that's just business stuff. That has nothing to do with nothing more. You know what I mean? That's just business 101. That'll hurt. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there that were looking for reasons to turn off the NBA. You know what I mean? There's diehard NBA guys like myself that, you know what I mean? You almost got to come spit COVID in my face. You know what I mean? for me, because I love the NBA. You know what I mean? Always have. So, you got to do a lot for me to turn you off. And I still might come back. You got game tomorrow? So, that's just how much I love the NBA. I always have. I love watching the basket go through the hoop. But, and I love playing it, even though I wasn't any good. You know what I mean? Like that, So I just love playing. I love playing basketball. It's fun, but it definitely will hurt some pockets. Not a players, but you know what I mean. It'll hurt some pockets. It's just your overall TV revenue. I'm not even saying like commercial deals. You'll do fine there. You know what I'm saying? But just how much you make off of your TV money, because you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose some fans because there are people who are looking for reasons out. You know what I mean?
So real quick, what I'm reading here, what it seems like they're doing, the NBA, the players, it's all about what the owners are going to do. To where it seems like what the Clippers and Lakers are saying, and even some of the other teams that didn't go as far as to just vote for the end of the season, but have, expressed their displeasure. They're saying that they want action for change from the ownership, from the owners. That until the owners show that they have, and there's a quote here, a plan of action, that the ball's not going to get rolling until that move is made by the ownership. I don't know what that plan of action necessarily is, but it seems like it's coming on a players versus ownership type movement right now.
All right.
There's a question here. Don, if the NBA cancels the bubble, do they return in October?
I mean, I guess that goes into what the players, decide. If it's players, if it's almost kind of the players versus the owners, then I guess it decides if they're, happy with the owners at that point. You know what I mean? Oh, he's saying instead of December, who knows about that? I mean, you're about a month off of you're almost 2 months off of where the regular NBA season would have ended. Late June, right? Late June would have been a normal ending. Mid June.
Second week in June.
Okay, so you're a month and a half off of that. So I think it'd be still tough if everything got worked out to come back early. I don't think that happens.
You're right, TTP. Spot on, brother. Yeah, because I read here it could affect, this was earlier, it could affect next season if they stop playing with the whole collective bargaining agreement. There you go. If the NBA season does not continue, the salary cap would be significantly affected and possibly blow up the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, and I know Silver was talking about even coming back in December, he was trying to find a way to do it with fans. So that may delay it even more because of how they were trying to do it with fans. So
guys, you think the Eagles are going to win the division this year?
Do you think they're ever going to play?
It's an even better question.
Oh, man. Yeah, so they want the owners to invest money. He wants owners to he wants the league owners and Adam Silver to do more on social issues. Some players annoyed Silver hasn't been in the inner bubble like they are and has been notably absent for the resumption. So that I don't that part I don't have to agree with. I'm good with all the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, don't just because Adam Silver's not in the bubble has nothing to do with nothing. You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with nothing. But to want the owners and Adam Silver to do more, yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? But you can't blame the guy for not being in the bubble. My goodness. I mean, that's not a good look. The rest of it, fine. The rest of it, absolutely fine. Just trying to find out more information for you guys. Yeah, so Woj obviously saying we already know, up in the air. All right, boys. So Phil's look good. Phil's are playing better.
Good win today.
Yep.
Playing a little bit better.
2 in a row. Tomorrow might be rough. You got Spence versus Scherzer. The kid versus Scherzer.
Yeah, that's why tonight was important.
Absolutely. It really was.
Yeah, thank God the bullpen didn't collapse, huh?
It wanted to.
Almost did.
It
Almost.
tried to.
Yeah.
But Reese is starting to feel like he's getting a pulse again. Starting to put better swings on the ball. Obviously, he hit one out tonight. Nice hanging cement mixer, which is always good. Good to get off the schneid. Hopefully he can pick it up. I will say Baum is atrocious at third base. He's atrocious.
Hey, at least he's hitting the ball, right?
I'll take it.
Yeah. At least he's hitting the ball. So we're cool there.
I guess there's reasons why he did a lot of work at first base.
Yeah.
Still don't know how that plays out, but I guess there's reasons because he hasn't been good the last couple of days. Now, granted, rookie, you know what I mean? First couple of weeks, it's tough. But
I love that exchange that him and Freddie Freeman had at third base when Freddie Freeman was mic'd up about him hitting his first home run. And it's all at the
I
ball.
missed that.
Yeah.
I think
Freddie Freeman was at third, and he was talking to Baum, and he's like, that's a great story to tell everybody. Why's your ball waterlogged? It's because I raked one 450 feet into the pond.
That is awesome. That's killer.
It is. Yep.
Look that up.
Alec had a good swing on a ball late. The center
In a big spot,
Robles
too, you're right.
ran down, but still a good swing. Looks to stay on the baseball well, but yeah, can't feel a fungo. You know what I'm saying? Like can't.
No.
I mean, it's struggle city. I mean, balls hit right at him. It's like skirtish too. So, I mean, they weren't lying when he said he needed work there. So we're seeing it first. We're seeing,
and just like anybody else, right? Hit right at him, he's good. But any type of movement one way, watch out.
Prism, what's the biggest name you all expect to get moved at the MLB trade deadline? JT Realmuto.
Stop.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Ain't gonna happen.
I don't know. Whatever Workman's first name was, you know what I mean? Like I just don't. So many people are still in contention right now because of 8 teams. I don't know who's willing and doing many moves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't think Milwaukee's trading Hader. They're in the mix. There's 4 teams out right now: Red Sox, Pirates, Angels, and the Mariners. Those are the 4 teams that are more than 3 games out right now. Half of the league. Tom, what did Sweep say the other day? Half the league or a quarter of the league is under 500 as a group. You know what I mean? Like
a few teams that are out of it, and everybody's like 3.5 out.
Yeah.
Like everybody's in the mix.
Yeah.
What's funny though is Jameel Hill put it, and I don't care too much about Jameel. You know what I mean? But she put a tweet out that said, think about this: racism canceled the NBA, not COVID. Like that's crazy, right? Like if you would have told me, like, you know what I mean? If COVID shut it down, we would have been like, okay, we seen it. We could have seen it coming. I thought that was a good tweet, honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about it before.
How we thought we'd be shutting it down.
Yeah, I mean, we were giving predictions on it, before the NBA restarted, and we were talking about, what's the chances we get through all of it, and I had said I don't think we will have a champion, but I said because of COVID. I did not say because of this. I don't necessarily care for her either, but that is a very good tweet.
Greg, 3 in a row for the Bills. 3 in a row.
Okay, 3 in a row. And Sweeps corrected me. 18 teams under 500. So that kind of tells you what to look for going into the deadline, which I think is coming up, next week, right? 2 weeks, week and a half?
Yeah, it's right here. I mean, it's got to be, right around that time. Yep.
We're 30 games in for some teams.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. You know what I mean? Well, and what teams are willing to be like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to go in the other direction even though we're in it. And then what teams that are obviously in it or close to in it, like us, that almost like have to win now. Go all in certain spots, right? Certain players, but I'm a lot happier right now. I thought this bullpen is starting to get some outs. Thank God. You can only go up from where you were. Starting to get some outs, but it definitely needs more. You know what I mean? I think we can all agree we're still another piece or two away from like being comfortable. Now, how's Velasquez look at the back end of the pen? You know what I mean? Or wherever they put him in and slot him in on a guy that thought we could be a good guy out of the pen. But I still think we need some more.
It's Monday, by the way. Monday.
Yeah, the 31st of August, correct?
Yep. 31st. So
What, a boycott? Oh, the trade deadline?
Trade deadline.
Yes.
No. No, nobody. Not even.
I left my symbols downstairs. I left the symbols.
Tough crowd tonight. Jeez. Tough crowd. Galatasaray, we need bullpen help. Yep. Sky's blue, baby.
Yeah. Yep. And
like I said, these guys we brought in have gotten some more outs, thank God. Not that that's
Mm-hmm.
a lot. But definitely more outs have been tossed around. It's good to see.
Yeah, for sure.
SGM, give me Pavetta, and I'll give Boston Tommy Hunter and a 10% coupon to Genos.
You want Pavetta back?
No, I don't want
Don't do that. Don't.
Yeah.
I just like the 10% coupon to Genos, really. They're just
Dumbest thing of the week, anybody?
Yeah, I got one.
I don't have one this week.
I got one dumb thing this week.
Go ahead, Frank.
All right, so my dumbest thing goes to the WWE and their Thunderdome gimmick, only because fans decided to take advantage of the Thunderdome by doing a little bit of trolling. One of them involved a picture of the infamous Chris Benoit. Another person in the screen had somebody in a white hood. Another one wearing a rival promotion AEW shirt, and another one wearing a sign involving the firing of the wrestler Velveteen Dream. And WWE is not too thrilled with it. That's all I got.
I can
Greg.
see it. I kind of like the Thunderdome setup.
I like the setup, but it's the fans just wrecking it for everybody.
Yeah. What's up, Rye?
Your turn.
Oh, yeah, I don't have one. I'm sorry.
what
It's
the
okay.
fuck is going on around here? Do the same shit every week, you two jackasses. We do the same thing every single week. How do you not have one? There's so much dumb shit in the world. I could start with just you two not having one. You know what I mean? Like how easy that is.
You took mine, Tom.
You two idiots don't have a dumbest thing in a week when we do it every week.
I
And
apologize.
you guys got nothing irk shit, nothing dumb. Everything was hunky dory. It was a hunky dory week. Ralph freaking yawning. It was hunky dory city. Oh my goodness. I can't anymore.
Yeah, my dumbest thing of the week is effort. Just effort. Effort gate. Not going to name names. Some may be down below. Might be two. One might be drinking a water bottle or whatever that is. I don't really care. Just effort. Just effort.
It's not soda.
Well,
Very true, Greg.
listen, he could use some soda right now to pep him the hell up.
Very true.
I mean, if I knew the over/under on said words was going to be 5, I might have put the friggin' house on it. Thank you, Spills. Thank you. Spills, I'm sure you would have had a dumbest thing of the week. Maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to go around. There's plenty of dumb stuff.
Earl Thomas. I mean, Flyers performance in game 1. Nigel Bradham talking and then getting cut.
That's funny. Yeah,
That's
funny.
pretty.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got to do better. I'll admit I was asleep. I fell asleep today before the show, so I did it. I was napping, so I was unprepared for dumbest thing of the week. I do apologize.
There you go, Parker. Ralph, you have anything to say, by the way?
No, I don't. I don't have a
Parker, you're here. Parker, do the seniors did it, or I guess Ryan, I could ask you too. Do the seniors tee off from the front tees, or they still tee off from the tips like the regular tour?
Now you're just being disrespectful. Now you're just being disrespectful.
No, because my dad was telling me that Mickelson was exactly waxing everybody, and I'm like, I don't know, is he teeing off from the fronts?
It's not PJ Tour regulation distance, but it's not the friggin' front tees.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't watch the senior tour.
What would be the blue tees at your regulation course is what the seniors play from.
Okay, gotcha.
It's basically the white tees on steroids.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Don, what about Dillard almost getting Carson Wentz injured? Oh.
Did not hear about that.
Well, my dumbest thing of the week is Mr. Van Der Esch from the Cowboys.
Oh, I don't know this one.
Twisting up Mr. Ezekiel Elliott's leg at practice and could have tore an ACL, and there wasn't happiness at camp that day, and you hate to see it. You hate to see it in camp. You hate to see it from a rival, but almost a tear, reportedly from down there. Tackled him and rolled over on it on purpose, supposedly. Ooh.
Wow.
Drama again in Big D. They can never run from it.
Was that today, Tom?
That was actually 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Zeke all right? I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
That's a total sports for you. I'll give him credit where credit's due. You know what I
Gavin
mean?
Keller, dumbest thing of the week. Plaxico Burris making an OnlyFans.
I can't even say it's dumb, Gav, if he's making money.
People are killing it on OnlyFans.
Booty off, babe.
People,
You know what I
people want to see more holes than ever, so might as well see Plaxico Burris in his foot. So,
Ralph, have you subscribed?
No, dude. Jesus.
Sitting around, babe. You guys didn't hear about that. Yeah, it's a great one. It's a great one. A little trouble one day. And it's fun. I was really hoping Earl Thomas went there so that it could become big.
They just a dumpster fire.
Earl
Maybe worse
Thomas
than the Sixers.
He's a mess. I mean, once you start with all due respect, once you start banging girls with your brother, once you start tag teaming with your brother, you're probably not all there upstairs. If you're willing to go in with your brother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're probably a little off right now, Earl. And I loved you as a player. When
in Seattle, I loved him in Seattle.
Yeah, you were a pimp. You're a pimp, but I think you're a little off the rocker. I think you told AB, hold my beer. You know what I mean? And not a good look. Not a good look when players, like we talked about it before, when players want you out. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Oh, Ralph,
you see that from down?
What? Oh, Jesus.
Would you?
Oh, dude.
There you
No.
go.
you're right.
I got something here. It's not dumbest thing of the week. I just saw it on my Instagram. The Sixers are targeting Penn's Landing for a potential new basketball arena.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did see that.
Yeah. You gotta have a
Like
season.
Penn's Landing. What's that, Tom?
Oh, I just said you need to have a season for that.
Yeah. But like Penn's Landing is going to be a nightmare logistically.
oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So, but I'll tell you what. By the time they build another stadium, that the Coliseum, whatever they're calling the area where all the stadiums are, I forget what they call it.
The sports complex.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you. It's going to be a nightmare because they're adding, obviously, Philly Live and then the office buildings and the apartment complex. It's literally right on top of all that stuff. So it's like, where are you going to park? Where are we parking?
They'll do just like the Braves do it. They got like parking garages. That's all it is. It's all parking. It's parking garage city. So that's what they'll do. It's parking garage everything and cram y'all in, and it'll probably be a good time because you have a lot down there. But then you just moved the casino down there. What are you doing now? You know what I mean? You just moved the casino down there. So now it's like we're double up on dumb things, like a dumb thing city. Like I'm all for it, but like by the time the stadium's built, maybe you can have fans back. You know what I mean? So that could be a plus. Maybe the season could be back by then. You never know. So I mean, you know, whatever they want to do, I don't give a shit about arenas. You know what I mean? Go where you want to go. Everybody grass is always greener. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about arena. You know what I mean? Grass is greener. You can fit 20,000. Now you can fit 21,000. Whoop-de-doo. You got a couple extra boxes. You know what I mean? A couple extra boxes to throw you know what around.
I like that, Phils.
That's comment of the night.
That's
this
true,
is comment of the night.
That's true.
Every road.
Roads haven't even started yet.
Oh, brother, let me take you into Jersey on 295. They'll have that arena done before 295 is actually really finished.
Yeah.
Down here.
By the time that's done, they're probably going to do more renovations.
No, where would they build it? It's going to be in the goddamn river, Gav. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're going to have it.
Well, no, they're putting the office buildings where the vet used to be. They're putting the friggin' gaming arena. Remember that thing? That's going to be behind Xfinity Live. So it's literally any open parking lot. Boom, we're putting something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I'm looking at, the potential area for that new arena, you know those two pillars that say welcome to Penn Landing on the river?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so they're going to knock those down and place the arena there. They're just going to like build it out, put the arena there, and I don't know.
Besides horses.
I can take a boat there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can take maybe some tailgating in the river.
How funny would that be if they had like boat docks on the one side? So that
would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Fucking winter time. We'll be taking boats across, freezing our asses.
Take the ferry.
Yeah,
I thought the boats were still banned ever since. Remember the duck boats? You guys remember the duck boats that got banned?
Yeah, but they got capsized. The duck boats. The ferries are fine to use, but the duck boats have been capsizing for years.
That would be pretty funny to park in Camden and take the ferry over to the game.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Hopefully there's a game. So, all right, Phil's tomorrow.
Flyers tomorrow.
A Flyer, they go back to back.
Back to back, yeah.
Yes.
Live reaction show tomorrow. Hockey happy hour. 7.
They're on at 7.
Yep. They're on at from what I was looking at, I just got their criteria. They said 6:30, but they could go off at 7, I think. We'll make sure. Yeah, they say.
No, I was talking about the game. I don't care. I mean, I'm sure I realize that kid's starting to come out wrong. I'm saying they can start whenever they want because they have a whole game. I'm saying I was talking about the game starting at 7. I love you guys.
Great save. That was smooth.
Smooth move.
Don't care about the hockey happy hour, guys.
No more seating for fans that need more seating for fans that aren't allowed. Yep, ain't that the truth, Matt? All right, great show, guys. I got nothing left for you. This has been the FIX the PM crossover. I'd like to thank our doc. Make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal. Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Frank Vespi, Greg Mwakovic, Ralph Del Vecchio, the family out there joining us. Hope you enjoyed her. Go Fly Guys tomorrow. Phil's going for 4 in a row. You know, upset city. Could you get a little upset city with the kid on the mound tomorrow? The kid on the mound versus the old goat. Can you get one? Can you steal one? Tonight was a great win for him. You know, starting to find outs. Nola, hell of a performance and some more timely hitting. I was at Bryce tonight, another big hit tonight. So coming up big. Hum Phils. Let's go Flyers. See you all soon. We out.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yep, do all that.